Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room Recap for Thursday, December the 17th. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of our trading room. This is the address to get into the room, and the room is open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm live on the mic between those two times. All right, well, a little bit of a different one today. I'm going to actually go over how I set up my this option scanner that has been giving me some really good trades, and but I will go over a couple of the trades. Had a couple of losers, couple of winners. CNQ. Let me just go over CNQ. And I apologize. I'm not disappeared behind the window. So let me just put up another one. So CNQ. And to be honest, I can't exactly remember how it came up, but I did end up shorting it right here. Maybe on a 5-minute chart, it might show it better. Yeah, it was right here. I think it might have been an RBI, even a breakdown, or a GBI. It was a breakdown. But anyway, the bottom line is that I shorted it at 2050. I'm still in it. It's been a pretty steady trade, as you can see. Not a lot of angst in it, as I like to call it. Not a lot of worry. I have taken some out at 2001, and I'm still holding on. Look how it's basing right here. Maybe get it a little bit bigger. Here we can see it a little bit bigger. Big base, just under $20, and so I'm still in this one. PII was a really nice one. We saw that in the pre-market. This was down a lot in the pre-market, and I know Real alerted us to it. We're actually looking to maybe if I get on a 15-minute chart, it'll look a little bit better. There we go. So there's yesterday's close, 95, all the way down to 85. So a big $10 drop in the pre-market. Started to bounce a bit, but actually ended up shorting it around 87.50, right about here. I think he was short about here, 87.95. Bottom line is I took some out at 86.673, 86.38, so that's over $1, and then 86.78. The other one was TELUS. TELUS actually worked out quite well, and TELUS came from this option. I call it this option stuff. And instead of my just giving it to you, I'm going to show you how to build these things. And because you can always tinker them or play around with them, adjust filters as you see fit. But I think it's more helpful if I just show you how to build it. Anyway, TELUS came on this one, and I've reloaded trade ideas, so I don't know exactly where it happened. It was actually, I know what it was. It was about 27, just over $27. And I ended up shorting it at 27.13 because it popped up a little bit. Come on. See it pop back up. And then as it came down again, I shorted it at 27.13 and got out several areas, one down here, and then as it was coming back up at 26.98. And just for us, for we Canadians, TELUS, Rogers, Bell, they were all down based on the fact that Shaw was buying Win Mobile. So that basically put Shaw into the cellular phone business, I guess. About 3 or 4 years ago, they thought they were going to do their own, get into it, but they didn't. And but now they will be competing on for the cell phone business in Canada. So I think that obviously is why TELUS, Bell, and Rogers were all down today. All right. The only other one, just a how you can make a mistake and get away with it. Uh, this one, this one again came from this what I call my option stuff. You'll actually see it. You might see it here, FGP, but this is not where it originally triggered. Originally triggered right around here, around just over $16. I got in at 16.25. But I accidentally bought about 10 times. I had an extra zero, so I bought 10 times what I wanted to buy. And well, this went down to, I think, when I was in it, went down to 16.15 or 16.16, which is not bad. It's only a 10-cent drop, but it could have kept dropping. and I was giving it about another nickel, and then look what happened. It just absolutely exploded. Now, I did not get this. I mean, I was sitting there on mute in the room watching it, and then as it started, like I didn't get this. I mean, it would have been awesome if I could have sold right up here or even here, but I ended up selling right about here, about 1640 from 1625. So I made pretty good money on it, but I'll tell you that was a mistake, and I really started to sweat. Anyway, now I want to show you. Sorry about that. I haven't. Just want to close down my. All right, so I want to show you how I built this scanner that I call, very classically named option stuff. So all I'm doing is this. Start off with a new window, new alert window, and we're going to start from scratch. And then I'm going to do a search on options. Okay, so the key is the option volume today percent. I'm going to add that as a filter. And I'm going to put 300%. And now here exactly is where you can start to play around with it. You can put 250, you can put 350. 300 is just something I decided to take to look at as a cutoff. But I noticed there were a couple that, when I see some stocks, now imagine this was going, well, okay, imagine this was right here. The option percent might be at 200 right now, and then as it's gaining steam, maybe it gets up to 300. So I may be missing this initial move because I've got it at 300. But on the other hand, if I put it at 200, maybe it's not as powerful. So I'm going to what I might do is I might create another scanner with it at 200 just to see what sort of alerts I'm getting, and are they still momentum alerts? This is both long and short side, by the way. Anyway, what this does is, if you know what our relative volume filter does, it's basically the same thing except using with filters. So what I'm going to do also is just, and I haven't completely explained it, I know, option volume today. Add that filter also. And I'm going to put it at 100. So basically what this is doing is a stock has to have traded at least 100 contracts today. So if a stock has traded 100, that means the stock has to trade. Yeah, if a stock is as long as the minimum is 100, then the stock has to trade at least 300 contracts in order for it to trigger. All right. Now, it's going to trigger on 300. It's going to trigger on a lot more, of course. But I just want to see abnormal option volume. It's obviously could have traded a lot more than 300, but I want to put the minimum at 100 contracts. The reason I do that is that I don't want to put it at five because if a stock trades at 15 contracts, yes, that's 300%, but is it really going to give me a trade? Is it going to be liquid enough to give me a trade? So I stick this at a minimum of 100 contracts at least. The volume today, put at, actually, I don't think I have it at 500,000, but you see, this is what you can do. You can play around with it, and a relative volume of 2 and the minimum price of 2 and a maximum of 100. You can play around with these filters. You can play around with every filter here. And then for the alert, it's just the new high or new low. Get rid of the heartbeat. So there you have it. All I've done now is I've got stocks 300% of normal, of what they would normally be doing in terms of their options, minimum of 100 contracts. The volume today is 500,000 shares, and the current volume, the relative volume is 2. So these are going to be pretty liquid and with abnormal option activity. And then I'm just looking for new highs and new lows. It's as simple as that. Now I want to show you one. Now, hopefully you get that. If you come into the room, then I can explain it again. But this is very simple to do. And again, you can play around with these filters. So I'll leave it on the screen just for a second so you can copy them down. But you can play around with these filters. If you're getting too many, maybe up this to 400 or up this to 200, up this to 1,000,000 shares, whatever you want to do. Now I want to show you one that I missed. And if you don't, this is how powerful this could be. It was GMLP, and I'm going to show you where the trigger was. This was today. The trigger, now I missed all this move up here, and this is what I'm saying. Maybe if I'd had the minimum option volume at 200%, maybe I would have caught the move here. It did catch it right there at about just over $10. The problem is I was doing a couple other things. By the time I saw it, it was already down there. I did not want to chase it, but look what happened. It just kept going down and down and down. So what an awesome alert from $10 all the way down to 750. I mean, on a percentage, well, just on a pure dollar basis, that's 250, but on a percentage basis, that's outstanding. So um, the other one was Glog, the same sort of thing. I don't know if they're related companies, but the same thing. I think the alert came around here, and look, we're at another dollar. So on a percentage basis, just really good. So I encourage you to go over the video, learn how to create that option strategy so you can use it. You don't need me to tell you how to use it. You won't need me to, call it out. You can see it for yourself. You can maybe fiddle around with the option volume percent, change it to 200, see what you get. I'm going to do that. That's all I'm doing. So hopefully that makes sense and you got something out of that video. And I'll wrap it up right there. Hopefully we'll see you in the room tomorrow. This is exactly how you, exactly, this is the address to get in and live between 9 and 4 o'clock Eastern time. And yes, I'm on the mic between those two times. So hopefully we'll see you in our trading room tomorrow. Bye-bye.